Hey guys, it's Lemming Rush. Today I'm going to be answering the questions for the Q&A. I'm just going to scroll down the page here. Should probably have background gameplay as I'm saying this, but we'll just try to get through as many questions as I can. And some questions were repeated, so I'll just, if I see questions that are similar, I will answer them once and not twice the same way. So first question by R. Not Bottenberg is why Lemming Rush? He's wondering why I chose the name Lemming Rush. And to put it simply, I thought it demonstrated, like it represented my gameplay. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I've always tried to be an aggressive player, and so I chose that name to remind me not to, like, to try not to chai snipe as much as I originally had when I started this game. So yeah. Next question is why am I? Next question. Wargaming Refugee wants to know why am I your favorite subscriber and why don't you send me free gold? Not happening. Armas Tico wants to know why don't I use a face cam? And the reason I don't use a face cam is because I really don't want to have to worry about my appearance when I'm streaming. I mean, for the most part, I just do it for fun, right? I don't really get paid well for streaming or anything like that. So to increase stress to worry about appearance doesn't, it's not worth it for me. I just want to enjoy streaming when I do it. So yeah. Next thing from Lord Champion is if you can change, add, remove 10 things from Worlds of Tanks as of 9.19.02, what would they be? Now, this is a really heavy question. It's actually extremely heavy. I'll answer three. I think if I was wargaming, like if I was a wargaming dev, I would stop over buffing and over nerfing tanks. I would, if I saw a tank with an average win rate of above 52%, I would nerf it slightly and slowly to try to make it 52, like between 46 and 52%, and vice versa. If I saw a tank with below 46 or 47% win rate, I would then slowly buff it instead of doing what they did with the mouse and buff like 5 things at once. And then suddenly you have a tank with a 56% average win rate. So that's one thing I would do. Next thing I would do is I would add more maps that are bigger and give options for tanks. Currently, they're adding maps that just aren't... I mean, I'm thinking of Paris. There's maybe 2 flanks you can play at best, and then everywhere else just doesn't work. So I would add larger maps that give people opportunities to do different things instead of forcing them into, tiny corridors where they have to just brawl it out. And I mean, I guess that's the second thing. For the third thing, I would just remove usernames and ban XVM or any sort of mod. I don't think usernames add anything beneficial to the gameplay, and I also don't really see how mods like XVM are useful either. So those are the 3 main types of changes I would make. Next question by Armas Tico again is what was your first tier 10 tank and why specifically it? My first tier 10 tank was the FE4202. It was also my first 3 mark, like tier 10 3 mark. It's the only 3 mark I can actually remember doing up until that point. So yeah, it was the 4202. I chose it because it was unique and I thought it was a very good tank, and I was right. I really enjoyed the 4202. So I really, that's why I chose it. It was a great tank and I wish they hadn't removed it, but they did. I liked its uniqueness and just the way it played. So yeah. Next question by Michael Lynn is why do I keep playing this game? I do it because I enjoy it. I don't really play it anymore because I like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like I prefer World of Tanks for the gameplay aspect, but I'm good at it and that increases my enjoyment. I really love to try to get better at things, so that's pretty much why I keep playing. Also, it sort of pays me now, so that could have something to do with it. The Shepherd 112 wants to know if I'll ever be getting a face cam, and maybe not. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really interested in it, but we'll see how it goes. I might get one in the future, we'll see. Another question by Armas is do I live with my parents? Yes, I do. I'm 18. I still live in the house. What is my blood type? No thanks. Aran Shukla wants to know which tank line made you suffer the most and made you quit grinding in it. I would say the CGC line easily. So I just free XP'd all the way up to it. Which tank do I hate the most? I don't know. I don't play tanks I hate. That's just the honest answer. I would say the DW2 is pretty bad, though. Same thing with the AMX40, and for some reason cunts keep asking me to play it, so yeah, fuck you guys. Super Des wants to know, have you ever been bad at the game? Like, did you re-roll an alt account? The answer is yes. I used to have a 46% win rate. When I started this account, actually, I had a 41% win rate in the T34-3 at 100 games. So I've had two accounts. I originally like shared an account with a friend just because that's how I started the game. We started playing together. And eventually I wanted to make my own account, so I bought a T34-3 saying, I was going to learn how to play high tiers and buy 100 games. I remember posting on the Watt Labs forums or something to that effect. I had literally a 41% win rate. Big, not a, I don't regret doing it. I think playing high tiers was really, really good for me, and I think it helped me develop as a player. But grinding through that tank with a 50% crew and no equipment wasn't the best decision, I think. It was hell, to put it shortly. Next question by Stereo Asian is, how old are you and are you going to school? Yeah, I'm finishing high school, so I missed 2 years of school because of an illness that I have, and I'm currently just working on finishing it. I have about 3 semesters left in high school, so yeah. Our Lord Savior says, our Lord and Savior, when did you first play World of Tanks and what were your first impressions? Honestly, dude, I have no clue. I really don't remember. Sean McClanahan said, why did you start this channel? So the original reason that I started making World of Tanks videos, I think it was because I was tired of not getting featured on Quickie Babies and Jingles channel. So it was for a selfish reason. Because I would send them like 8k damage games in tier 9 tanks and they'd never get featured. So after a certain point of time, I just said, fuck this, I'll upload my own YouTube replays. And so that's why I started. From there, it's changed, right? I'm trying to teach people and trying to help them play better and enjoy the game more. But that was the original intent behind my channel. Arn Alander says, how much do you game per week on average, and how much do you use your gaming time playing Watt or other games? I would say almost all of my time when I play video games is on Watt, and the reason I do that is because it's my job and I want to get better at it. If I play other games, I'll play CSGO for a bit, and sometimes I'll just go full ADHD and just hyper-focus CSGO for like a day. But those are the 2 games I play. Nafis Shaw asks like a gajillion questions, and they're yeah. Basically, I'll answer one of his questions. He says, what tank do you want added in? I would say I wish they had the FV4202 as a tier 10 tank. Totally. I really wish that tank still existed, but that's my opinion. Next question by Fear TSM is, when did you become really good at World of Tanks? To be honest, even though I sometimes talk down to people in live gameplay, I think that's just sort of my personality. I don't actually consider myself that good. I think I'm good, but I would never... The thing is, there's so many players who are better at me in this game, right? So it's sort of hard to say, oh yeah, I'm the best player in the world, when the reality is there's I try to be realistic about it, right? I'm 86th place on NA. That means there's 85 players who are better than me at the game, and so it's sort of like I don't really consider myself to be, in quotations, really good at World of Tanks. I consider myself to be good, so I would say maybe at 2900 overall. That's sort of when I started to realize, but still, it's very hard to just rest on my laurels, I guess, and then continue to think I'm good at this game. It's just you always want to do better. That's typically what I found, and that's what most people find with this game, or anything really. Cedric Malman says, what would you like to see changed the most in World of Tanks? I'd have to say artillery, and I'd have to say, artillery and maps. Those are the 2 big things I would like to see changed most, and I don't really know the answers really well, so that's why I didn't include them in the question above, because I don't really know how to fix artillery, but I just know it's broken. Which was your first tank you got a Mark of Excellence? I don't remember which one it was, but I remember the first tank I 3-marked was the 4202. Probably the T-34-3 Armas, but that's about it. On a scale of 1 to Goose riding a moose while being watched by a Mountie who's eating Tim Hortons, how Canadian are you? I pull up to Tim Hortons on a horse. Is that Canadian enough? Next question is, why do I only have 20,000 subs? That's the biggest question. It's timing, man. I started way later than everyone else, so of course I'm going to have less subscribers than them. If you could only give one tip to someone looking to improve from good to excellent, what would it be? I would say I'm going to give 3. Sorry. Focus on positioning. Positioning is the most important skill in World of Tanks. Where you put yourself when should always be your focus in this game. It should fuck aiming, fuck weak spots, because if you don't know how to pen someone's lower plate, just shoot, like if you don't know how to pen a tank, just shoot gold at its lower plate. You're going to pen it 9 times out of 10 unless RNG says no. The biggest skill in this game is always going to be positioning. So that would be my 2 pieces of advice. And third thing is just going to be to play the game. I thought about this question before I made this answer, but the reality is you could watch every single video on YouTube in World of Tanks, and you wouldn't get any better. You actually have to play World of Tanks. So I would suggest you watch some YouTube videos and then try to apply what you learned in game instead of I know some people will watch videos for like 5 hours and then not play, and that's just never going to increase your stats. So watch videos and play the game. Just remember to actually play, because that's something that a lot of people forget to do. Next question by Cryogen Games is, will you ever find a good strat on Windstorm? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it, dude. The Wrath of Nissan asked me, I noticed you were in Silver League last season. I'm curious what changes you'd like to see the league format and or game balance as it pertains to League. I would like them, like I said earlier, I'd like them to stop over buffing and over nerfing tanks, and I would like to see the League, like I've stopped, I don't really want to play League for another season at all. The only reason I joined Silver League was because a friend asked me to. As far as League goes, I would like them to increase the prizes for Gold League. I think that would increase the popularity a lot, and I mean, I'm thinking if the prize for the first place team in Worlds was $1 million, every single player would make 6 figures, right? And that would be huge. And people would start playing the game just because they wanted to win $100,000 for playing video games. And I think it's sort of like the chicken and the egg. I think to increase League, the popularity of World of Tanks League, you have to increase the prizes, because that's going to make it viable for teams to actually play full time. Currently, not many teams can actually do that. So, I mean, maybe Navi can, but pretty much they're the only team that I've really heard of doing it full time. But then again, I don't really know many teams. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts. I'm not really super educated on that topic though. That dude asks a question that's already been answered. Lemming Train wants to know where I'm from. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So maybe 300 kilometers north of Montana and about 100 kilometers west of the Rockies. I'm just going off the top of my head, actually. It could be 500 kilometers north of Montana. I really don't know. How did you get to World of Tanks? I started because I was looking for a tank game to play. What is your favorite tank and why is it the M3 Lee? How did you 3-mark your M3 Lee? Tenacity and perseverance, as well as my moral compass helped me. Where do you see the future of World of Tanks going? Do you think there are many happy years left in WoD? I honestly don't know. I mean, every single week there's someone complaining that the game is going to die, and it's been that way for years. So, I mean, I have no clue. Obviously, World of Tanks has done a really good job as it is, and I hope they continue to do well. But I also think they can definitely do better. So I have no clue. How many battles needed for you to stop being a tomato? I would guess maybe 8,000 to 9,000. Not a tomato, but like to sort of, I don't know, like blue 55% win rate ish. I'd say 9,000. But this is all done on alternate accounts and accounts that I've shared and things like that. So I really don't know. I'm just sort of estimating. Someone asked if I hate Quickie Baby. The answer is no. I don't hate Quickie Baby at all. I think he's done a lot for the World of Tanks community. And if anyone had actually listened to what I said in the Quickie Baby videos, I have nothing against him. I didn't insult him once or anything like that. So I think, yeah, if you actually watch the video where I specifically said I wasn't trying to insult Quickie Baby, and I said that in slow, crystal clear English, you would know, especially considering there was really nothing to contradict what I said in those videos. But P. Claudius wants to know, in one of your streams you mentioned being sick. Why? Are you better? So I have an autoimmune disease. It's called Still's disease. Basically, my immune system attacked my body, and I mean, it multiple different parts of my body, like joints and organs that I sort of care about. So that put me in the hospital for a good couple months. Currently, I'm on a medication that suppresses my immune system, so it can't attack me anymore. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was out of school for 2 years. I was in the hospital for a significant amount of time. But considering that I'm now doing online school and I'm able to finish, and I also have an online job, I would say the quality of my life has improved drastically. So, yes. Will you make a new OHO guide when it gets buffed next patch? No. Fuck that. I will never get an OHO. Which is your favorite Watt YouTuber? I would have to say I don't watch many Watt YouTube videos. Most of my time is spent making YouTube videos. Sort of sick of the watching part. If I had to, though, I would watch Anfield, or I would have to say Jingles, to be honest. I like Jingles. He's a really good guy, so I would watch Anfield or Jingles. That's just my opinion. He says he's a bad player, but the reality is, compared to a lot of World of Tanks players, Jingles is pretty decent at the game. He's got like, last time I checked, he was at like 1900 recent, so by no stretch of the imagination, even though I'll insult people with 2K Win 8, he really isn't that bad. He's way better than he says he is, so it's also funny to see people talk about how bad of a player Jingles is, because chances are he has double their stats. You know? So yeah, I like Jingles. I think he's a very interesting player to watch. And same thing with Anfield, I really like him. But also, I forgot about Klaus. Can't forget Klaus. I do like Klaus's channel a lot. So those are 3 people that I watch, I guess. I've seen the green square army camo on some of your tanks. How does one get it? So he's talking about the digi camo that my tanks have. I got it through Clan Wars. It's a Clan Wars prize, and to be honest, I think they should give out more cool camos for like prizes, or maybe you should be able to buy them, because I think camos are really cool. They're a good addition to the game, and they're not game breaking. So I wish Wargaming would focus on those instead of over buffing and over nerfing tanks to make credit or money. Credits and money, they're basically the same thing, right? Do I find your audience too large to become personal with as a community? I don't think so. I've pretty much read every single comment that my channel has gotten, which is probably like 10,000 plus lately, but I really don't think so. It's too many for me to respond to, but I pretty much read every single comment I get, so I don't think so in the sense that I can read every comment, but maybe yes in the sense that I can't respond to every single comment that is asked. How many hours do you play every day, and how many do you think is ideal? I think if you've ever watched me stream, the most I will play is 2 hours. After 2 hours, I start to lose concentration and I'm unable to focus. So I generally would, for me, I play less than 2 hours a day, if I can help it. Unless I get really tilted and I just keep playing for like 5 hours, but that's different. How often do I get frustrated at this game? Every single time I get clicked. So, every game or two. What components do I think make up skill, and which are the most important? Should I prioritize mechanical or strategical skill? This is asked by Arconis. I would say strategical skill, period. It's the same in every single game. Even in CSGO, the pros never talk, like, they do talk about aim, but the big skill in CSGO or any type of video game is outpositioning the enemy. If you can get behind someone, you know, there's nothing he can do. You can always beat someone if you're behind them. So try to position yourself to beat the enemy. I mean, even if you're to their side, you'll end up getting the first shot off. So try to outposition the enemy all the time. If you're above the enemy, or if you're in a position where your armor works better than the enemy's, you're going to have an inherent advantage, and really no amount of skill is going to be able to, you know, beat you, like mechanical skills. So also 25% RNG sort of negates mechanical skill, but that's just my opinion. Merlin wants to know if I'm a Trump supporter. I'm Canadian, dude. I think both representatives were absolutely trash. Someone called me a Hillary voter the other day. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who I would have voted for if I had to, but I think both were like really, really not that great. Someone asks, or Tim Johnson asks, do I like Crywolf? The answer is I don't really listen to Crywolf. I actually didn't really appreciate his voice, but that's just me. Someone else asks if I could recommend a single music genre, what would I recommend? I would suggest you take a listen to melodic dubstep. It's my favorite artists are generally Skrux, Skrux, and Seven Lions and Illenium. So that's what I would suggest if you're looking for the type of music I listen to. Are you ever going to play platoons with subs? Nah, dude. I have 20,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people to platoon with. Oh, Davor. Davor asks if I will ever play tier 4 to tier 7s. I have really been considering it. I recently got my hands on a T43 on an alternate account that I used to mentor people on. And I really, really do like the T43. So I've definitely been considering doing lower tier videos, but the problem is I don't really enjoy them. I don't love lower tiers. So I plan on getting into it, but I really don't know when. I'm not sure if I really want to, but it's in the back of my mind. Have you ever done esports? Yes. If Wargaming carry on to the Batchat nerf, how would I respond? I'd probably continue to play World of Tanks, but by no means would I be a support of that move. The reason I made that video is because I don't want it to happen. Like, I have no power, so I'd be really upset. I'd probably just sell my Batchat, to be honest, because I have no interest in playing a shitty Batchat. So, yeah. At what point were you happiest in life, and why? So, I'm 18 right now. I'd have to say currently, a lot of the times I feel like I'm living a dream. You know when you feel like life can't be real because just how good it feels. I mean, I sort of also sometimes think I'm bipolar, but for the most part, if I'm working on my YouTube channel and I can see it growing and I can see improvement, or if I have, that's typically what makes me feel the best. Recently got a car, and considering how low I was just a couple of years ago because of my sickness, I was out of school, sometimes I couldn't even walk to get food if I was hungry. I would say lately I feel absolutely amazing about my life. So, yeah, especially contrasted with what it used to be. Do I have a pet? I used to have a piranha. Yes. Oh, there was one question that I saw. I didn't see who asked it, but he wanted to know if I did any sports. I used to do competitive swimming. I did that for 4 years, and then I sort of started doing triathlons, and then I got sick, so I wasn't really able to continue on with many of the sports that I were doing. But I used to swim competitively, and I did one triathlon, and then I sort of stopped, and then I got sick, and that sort of put a stop to my sporting endeavors. Why is my laugh so awkward? Fuck you. At how many subs will you start playing TDs? I will start playing TDs when I think they have some sort of fun aspect to them. I don't really care about how many subs I have in regards to TD play. Yeah, I play this game for fun, dude. For the most part. When will you do another foot reveal? I don't know. Maybe when I make another real life video. I have to make a video about my computer. Someone asked what computer I use, so I'll make that a separate video. I'll make a setup video or something. How do you win playing as an artillery? A lot of the times, if you can find a lake, that's really, really good. And if you can't find a lake, there's generally a building or a teammate that you can just kill yourself off of. And I would say that's the easiest way to win as artillery, because the second you die, you can go and play a real tank. Lucas says my voice is sexy. Thanks, Lucas. Do you play any other games besides World of Tanks? This is by RoboSapio232. If so, do you willingly only upload World of Tanks content, or are you afraid that your fans wouldn't want to see you playing other games? Do you regret making a channel based entirely on World of Tanks? Honestly, I upload World of Tanks because I've chosen to upload World of Tanks. If I were to make other videos, which occasionally I have, I would not really make them on video games. So yeah, I'm saving up for a GoPro. I'd love to make real life videos, but really, when your job is online and your job is sitting down at your computer and playing video games, a lot of the times it feels so much better just to go do other things. So I don't really play other games for fun. I'd rather do real life videos or something with the GoPro, but that's just me. And I am not worried about that. I'm sure some people will dislike it, but I mean, who cares? Fuck them. Am I Indian? No. Do I sound Indian? I've had people... Yeah, what? Your favorite line that you would recommend to have fun? Probably the M48 patent line. Yeah, that's what I would say. Can I see can I see your face? I will do, I mean, my face is online. You can go Google it, but I'll do an actual face reveal of me when I'm 18 years old, not when I was like 16 or 15 or whatever. Maybe at 100,000 or something. I will promise I will do a real face reveal at 100,000, but for now, you have to like Google it or something to get a really old picture of my face. All right, I just scrolled down. I went through every single comment, all 300 and what is this? 337 comments. I just read every single one. So we're gonna end the Q&A right here. It seems to be pretty long. This is gonna be a pain in the ass to edit, but oh well. I hope it was worth it. Thank you very much for being a subscriber to my channel, and yeah, I appreciate it. I really do. Thanks, guys. Bye.